And good morning. Welcome to Today the Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with our odds maker Keith Fustel. A beautiful Sunday for you of racing. Sunday brunch is cooking. We have a couple nice carryovers we're going to tell you about. Both Keith and I have tickets for them. But real quick to recap, yesterday a couple upset performances in the 2-year-old stakes. We talked about both of them. Hammy Smith with Fanny Bell Fleming. We had a little soundbite from Hammy in the early show yesterday morning. Of course, both of the 2-year-old stakes for 2-year-olds that trained for 90 days down there in South Carolina. Fanny Bell Fleming trained down there at Hammy's brother's place down there, the famous Ellery Training Center down there with Gorey Smith in Ellery, South Carolina. So Fanny Bell Fleming, she's a Maryland bred. Good-looking win yesterday.
Yeah, Lee Christian's horse, a guy that, does a lot for the game and does a lot with the breeders and everybody down in South Carolina. Always a mainstay at the Ellery Trials each and every year. I know a place that you've frequented a few times, especially with your dad back in the day. So they do a phenomenal job. Whirling Curl, I'm not so sure where that horse stayed down there, but maybe that horse was at Ellery as well. Could have been a number of the places. Like Carroll's place down there. But, yeah, a couple big prices. We talked about them. Gary's horse, out of Lexington Girl, didn't really have a fair shake the first 2 tries, and Pop, we've seen form reversals in that barn. Those two, they're awfully slick, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Huh?
They are.
You don't step up to a poker table with those two sitting there, do you?
And they're both Maryland breds, Fanny Bell Fleming and Whirlin' Curlin. And I'll tell you what, the Whirlin' Curlin, he looks like Curlin, the 2-time champion horse of the year. What a good-looking horse he is. Those 2 Maryland Juvenile Championships in December shaping up to be a couple of very nice stake races.
No, absolutely. They should be good. Looking forward to those.
All right, so that was yesterday. The Hall of Famer Edgar Prado with a big day yesterday. He had 2 wins yesterday, and we want to give our special thoughts and prayers to our apprentice rider, Jen Miller. She was in a spill last night at Charlestown where she broke up parts of her jaw. So we wish her well. We wish her a speedy recovery to apprentice Jen Miller.
Yeah, he was doing well. She was really improving. We commented just about it yesterday. Bill and I upstairs. I mean, one thing we do as chart callers, we're watching everything as close as we possibly can, and saw the strides she was making as a rider. Yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to her, and much the best. Hopefully she gets a quick recovery.
Absolutely. All right, well, nice carryover today in our 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. This will be well played today. The Pick 6, a little over 7,400. Starts in race 4 today on our 9-race program. I have a ticket, a $57.60 ticket. I like the Pick 6 today. We'll get at least we'll get close to 10,000 new money into it today, maybe with a carryover that size.
And I got to thinking about this. With this carryover around 7,400, maybe hedging up towards 10 or 11,000. These are the days that maybe the smaller players have the chance. So maybe reach in, grab a couple extra bucks if you can, go a little deeper than normal, and pump in at a ticket like this. You may not have the competition that you have when it's, say, 80, 100,000, 150,000. But, it's a nice score for guys like us. That can carry a long way. So don't be a little scared. Dig in a little deeper than what you have in the past and pump it into this Rainbow Pick 6.
Yeah, my ticket yesterday was 4 out of 6. I didn't have Fanny Bell Fleming or Whirlin' Curlin, 2 horses that on a deeper ticket I would normally have because I would play those trainers. And, with the Whirlin' Curlin, that was race 7 yesterday. That knocked everybody out of the Pick 6. So with 2 races to go yesterday, everybody was out. So you jump in there, play a reasonable ticket. You get a couple prices on your ticket. You get the other winners, and very good shot. You could be the only ticket to take down a nice signer today, around 12,000, 13,000 probably.
I had to abuse my money, man. Vinny coming up a little bit late. I said, where were you? I needed to put a little bit more into this. We could have had this Pick 6 today.
Yeah, yesterday.
No doubt. No doubt. It was havable.
All right, well, I like it today. We'll show you my ticket starting in race 4. Nice carryover today in the late Pick 5, starting race 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. Carryover a little over 3,300. That'll be well played. That starts in the 5th race. I know you like the late Pick 5. You have a ticket for that, Keith, so we'll take a look at those in a little bit. But let's take a look here at the track conditions today. Also, we want to give you a special reminder. We are open for simulcasting tomorrow, but no live racing tomorrow. Because we had live racing on Thanksgiving Day to give out the pies. We had a big crowd here Thanksgiving Day, so no live racing tomorrow. We're open for simulcasting only. Live racing will resume the following Monday for the rest of the year, so just no live racing tomorrow here on Monday. Beautiful conditions today. Unfortunately, we're off the turf, but some nice races still. and a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The main track will be perfect and fast.
And it will be, and like we talked about it, and not as extreme as an outside bias. Saw a little bit yesterday. You know, Tim Keefe's horse did take pressure early on, but that horse clearly might have been best in that shorter field in the opener. Other than that, maybe still a tendency that 3 or 4 path, especially turning for home. You saw a lot of the riders, even on the lead, would kind of guide their horses out a couple paths. So keep an eye on that. Not as dramatic as it once was, but still, I think a little bit still is there.
All right, let's take a look here. Race 1 to kick off today. Race 1 will start the early pick 5. Did we do the weather already? I think we did the weather.
Yeah.
We did the weather. We're in the, the 50s today? 50s, clear and sunny. Let's take a look here at the opener to kick off the early pick 5. It's a mandatory payout here on this early pick 5, and just like the late pick 5, industry low 12% takeout. We're going a flat mile on the main track. We're off the turf today. Race 1's claiming 7,500 for filly and mares 3 and up. I end up on the 4 here. Ask Me I Might was entered main track only for this race by trainer Ferris Allen. 4-year-old filly runs first off the claim today. 7-pound apprentice Franklin Sabalos will ride. This filly has some early speed. She's stepping up a condition here first off the claim, but she catches a small field here. I think they're going to send early here with a light bug weight here, 109 with Sabalos aboard. I like the 4, Ask Me I Might, going right to the front here in the opener.
Yeah, maybe a little bit better one turn than the 2 turns. She certainly didn't have an excuse last time out, but Ferris Allen knows this filly is a reclaim for the barn. I'll take the 12. The horse that stays in, St. Mamie. Her 2 dirt tries are abysmal. But Kieran keeps this horse in, gets Lynch. Maybe one final shot. I think this clearly is an all-or-nothing kind of a horse. Might be able to dictate or sit just off of it, a drop-in class. St. Mamie kind of heading the wrong way, but I'm going to just ride it, that he's keeping this horse in. Kieran likes money, I think, right? Yeah, we all do.
He's keeping in to pick up a check because, turf season's almost over, so pick up a check while you can. The 2 Irish-inspired, we both like this filly, 4-year-old daughter Patio Prado. She's run some decent races on the main track. Caramanos rides for Mike Gorham. This filly will get an inside trip here, probably lay about mid-pack. She's run some decent races on the main track before.
She's got a couple races on her page that certainly worked last time, and a legitimate excuse when checked sharply, and then just kind of lost interest from there, rounding the far turn. Irish-inspired, 3 races back. You know, right behind what was going to be my top back, even if she stayed in, was Kara's Nene. But Irish-inspired, not bad at Suffolk. 4th place finisher, did come back and ran a mid-40s number in an optional 15 at Mountaineer. Maybe Irish-inspired is the one. Certainly can get the distance and just kind of steadily progress and get by late.
If you're playing the early pick 5, to be honest with you here in the opener, it's a 4-horse field. Hit the all button. Just hit the all button in the opener if you're playing the early pick 5. Sometimes goofy things happen in these small fields. It turns into a rider's race. So hit the all button. You'll be live after the opener in the early pick 5. Let's take a look here. The second race to start the early pick 4 on the main track originally. 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 25,000 for 2-year-olds. And we have a video spotlight. Race 2 will kick off the rolling super high 5 here in the second race. We have a video spotlight on the 7 Taco Supreme for trainer Charlie L. Frock. Here's the race late October. Good second behind a horse that would come right back to win.
Yeah, you got to like the way Taco Supreme improved, transferring from the turf and a little drop in class. Double Knot Spy, the key horse, no doubt about it. And Double Knot Spy actually gets headed. Taco Supreme gets a short lead. Looks like he's going to kind of go right on by and just kind of, not quite enough, but still willing. Double Knot Spy just a little bit too good right there. Came back to run a 56 when winning. That's good enough for me. A repeat of that performance is going to be good enough for Taco Supreme.
I like this horse. I have this horse in my exacta. Got a little push on this horse yesterday from the Connections trainer. Charlie L. Frock said, hey, I like my horse in the second race tomorrow. He told me that yesterday. This barn's having a good meet. Charlie Frock, he's won 3 races here. This meet 7 for 16 in the money. Taco Supreme will be right there. Should get a nice trip on the outside with Sheldon Russell. I'll use that horse in the exacta, but I'll go with a hunch play here on the first-time starter from the Hammy Smith barn. We know how good he is with these first-time starters, especially the 2-year-olds. This colt by Justin Phillip out of a Tail of the Cat mare. Some nice works down there at Ellery and up here at Laurel Park. We're getting Lasix and debut. Joe Moore Torres, a good outside post here for the debut. I'll go with the 6 Wiggins here. Well, it will be interesting to see how much money comes in here on this horse.
Yeah.
Sammy Smith, he gets played normally with
yeah,
his debut
and this
runners.
is a good angle. He's tough with the maiden claimers, no doubt, and spots him well. First time out, positive RI for this angle. Justin Phillip hits with about 18% of his first-time starters. The mare Cat Be Nimble has produced, I think, a couple siblings that both they won long. I think that one of the siblings here ran one going long, so maybe even a little bit longer down the road for Wiggins, but not a surprise at all with these hammies, with these firsters in the maiden claiming.
All right, so you like the 6 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 we both like as well. Freedom
Yeah.
Trump. This horse taking a drop in class. 2-year-old by Freedom Child. Freedom Child just keep winning and winning and winning.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon McFarlane, young trainer, gets the leading rider. Jevion Toledo. This horse did run a very good second behind Fenton's 4 last September. He's kind of fallen apart a little bit since then, but takes a drop today, gets finds easier company, and gets the leading rider Toledo aboard.
Yeah, ran into that Tim Key for us last time, right? Still having fun,
Yep.
110 and 3. Yeah, this is the right little move. This horse can kind of sit and make a move into this pace, no doubt about it. 22 and 3, 46 and 2. I don't think they're going to be doing this this afternoon. You see, interesting though. Steve Hamilton goes to the 3, right? Jumps off of Taco Supreme, who rode Taco Supreme, goes for a horse, buried its first 2 tries in New York, but making that drop from maiden special weight to maiden claiming and adding the Lasix. That's the 3. Foolish Ghost. I might have missed this horse. Yeah.
I overlooked the horse. I didn't like the horse too much. Those were state-bred maiden special weights up there, and the horse just got buried. But it is a first-time gelding today, first-time Lasix, new barn. Trainer Dove Allen does a nice job, good rider, so maybe the 3 could wake up. I have the 2, Jovis, in my top 4. Sabalos, the bug rider, aboard for Gary Capuano. Decent debut, sprinting on a fast track, and then kind of fell apart last out on an off track going a mile against Maiden 40. Now back down to the 25 level on a fast track sprinting with the bug rider. The 2, Jovis, could wake up here for a good barn.
And a little breeding note for the 1A who stays in. Scratch the plain one, El Cachorro. The 1A will stay in for Corrales and trainer Joe Murphy. The mare Cimarette has had 5 starters. 1 debut winner and another one runs second, indicating some precocity there. So don't really leave out, I wouldn't think, in him with him. The 1A who stays in with jockey Callie Francois. Tough to see, talking about Taco Supreme. El Padrino we lost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, boy, he was on a roll.
He was.
And I know they got a couple horses, some weanlings over at the sale in the next week or 2 over at Timonium. I'm sure there'll be hot commodities. But sorry to see that. That's a blow to the industry.
It is. He was an up-and-coming sire, one of the leading sires in the Mid-Atlantic area, stood up there in Pennsylvania for Northview Stallion Station. So sorry to lose El Padrino, but he'll have some runners still on the track for the next couple years. Let's take a look here at the 3rd race, going a flat mile, maiden 16,000, 3 and up, and a bunch of scratches in this race. I don't know who they're afraid of. I don't see any future 10 keys in this race. I mean, who are they ducking in this race? They're all.
That's what surprised me. Yeah,
scratching out here. The maiden 10 is going to be tougher than this small field for a bigger purse here. But it's perplexing sometimes. This game very perplexing. But I'll go with the 12 Class Deputy. Mike Trombetta and Fitzhugh, they're not afraid to pick up a nice check here on a beautiful Sunday. First time gelding here on the 12 Class Deputy. That's enough to wake them up. J.D. Acosta right to the front, baby, on the 12 Class Deputy.
Yeah, I think you'll see aggressive tactics, no doubt about it, with this short field. Barron, the 2 dirt tries on a sloppy track, horrific. Prefers definitely a fast track and looks like the stayer of the bunch.
Yeah, and Merriman got the money the other day with Grandy Flora. Maryland bred for owner breeder. They got all the money there.
She lucked in, right? She's got a couple 3-horse fields. She's worked herself
and this
into.
is Maryland bred. They'll get all the bonus money here with the 8 Barons. Sure, why not? All right, let's get a quick commercial break. We have a nice carryover today in our Rainbow Pick 6, little shy of 7,500. I have a ticket. Everybody should have a ticket. Get your friends together. We'll take a look at the Pick 6 right after this. All right, welcome back today. The race is presented by Fidelity First. Here we go with today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. I think this will be well played today. It's a nice carryover, a little shy of 7,500. There it is, $7,437. I have a ticket. It starts in race 4. Let's take a look at my ticket, a $57.60 ticket. I hit the early daily double at Rosecroft last night. I'm going to try to parlay that into the early double today and build up my bankroll for this pick six.
Nice.
I'm going after it today. I'll go 3 deep here in race 4. The 2 Dukin with Dale, my best bet of the day for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, but the 3 Humboldt Street in good form right now for the Red Hot Dale Capuano, so I'm using the 3. And the 8, you kind of have to use the 8 protectively. Pedro Serrano, big drop coming down from New York for trainer Ray Handel, gets Sheldon Russell. So 2, 3, 8 for me here in the 4th race. The 5th race, I'm going 3 deep in here. So maiden 40, 1 mile on the main track. The 11, I think, will be awfully tough in here. Karma for trainer Ron Moquette and Sheldon Russell. The 2, Goodnight Moon, 3-year-old filly by Malibu Moon, might wake up here in a small field, and you have to use the match entry. The 1, Valiant Reason, runs with Edgar Prado, and make the 1A Sunny Sonata, make the rider Jevion Toledo. I think you have to use the Michael Matz entry, the 1 and the 1A there in race 5. Then race 6, I'm going 4 deep. That's a nice 7,500 starter allowance. The 5, my top pick, Spirit Grabber, might be lone speed there in race 6. But the 3, Sky Chaparral's in good form. The 6, Risky Guy, and you have to use the 8, Fortuitous Pass. So I'm 4 deep there in race 6, and then I'm just 2 deep in races 7, 8, 9. Race 7, I have the 2 Top Prospect and the 7, Zensland. Race 8's a nice 3 other than allowance feature of the day, going 7 furlongs. The 1, Sin Wave I have, and also the 6, Miss Cobblestone with Jevion Toledo. And then race 9, a nickel 2 life, 7 furlongs. I'm using the 6, Break the Mold with Elvis Trujillo, and the 7, Brute Force with Sabalos aboard for Trombetta. So $57.60 ticket here on the pick 6. Let's take a look here at race 4, which also kicks off the middle pick 4. It's a nice claiming 5,000, 3 and up, wide open, 6 furlongs. And how about the 2, Dukin with Dale, a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park, 8 for 12 in the money, won wire to wire last out in the slop. That was against Beaten Nickel Company. This race a little tougher, a wide open nickel. You get the 7-pound apprentice, Franklin Sabalos aboard here for your leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. Right to the front, maybe with the 2, Dukin with Dale?
Could go to the front, no doubt about it. That's going to be his best tactic, get early positioning. He may have to rate back if Speedy Mexican kind of goes on the engine to the outside. Pedro Serrano is the real question mark in this race for trainer Ray Handel. Hasn't done this move a lot over the last several years. 1 for 5 and 3 for 5 in the money with these 50% droppers on the dirt. So I should say that was overall. That's not just on, that's dirt and turf. So this is a horse back in August, voided claim at Del Mar. And then lay this horse off, claimed again, then actually claimed at last time out, and now we drop. That scares me.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you toss the horse in if you can, afford it on your pick 6 and your pick 4s and everything like that, and your early pick 5. I'm going to try to beat the 8, Pedro Serrano. If he's right, he kind of sits probably just off of Dukin with Dale and goes on with it. But a little indicator, off slowly. I don't know. Maybe that's a little indicator something's not going wrong. Sometimes horses, things aren't right. They start breaking a little bit slowly. But let's try to beat Pedro Serrano. I like the 3, Humboldt Street. I think this horse is going to get a nice trip, a nice big jump up in the numbers last time out. The barn, as we talked about time and time here recently, Dale Capuano on fire. I like the way this horse sat and rallied into it. A little different dimension than what he's shown from forcing the issue prior to that. I think this horse gets the right kind of trip.
Yeah, the horse and the barn red hot right now. You get the leading rider, Jevion Toledo. So I use the 2, 3, and I use the 8 protectively here on my pick 6. Your 5, though, Hurler. Hurler's an old tough customer, 5-time winner here at Laurel Park, 3rd last Alpine Classic Wildcat, who just came back to win yesterday. You get Elvis Trujillo aboard for Marco Salazar. You'll have a nice price here on the 5, Hurler. If you're playing a deeper ticket, I think probably a must-use here for live connections.
He's a horse. He's been through some barns, no doubt about it, and he's looked like he's cycling back up into one of his better races right now. The key, 6 furlongs. I like him a little bit better at 5.5. Of recent noted at 6, he's got a touch of hang into him. I think he'll make a move into the pace. Will he be able to kind of follow through? But at that price, I think you're going to get 8 or 10 to 1 on Hurler. I think he's his user in exactas, especially being skeptical with the 8 horse, Pedro Serrano.
All right, so nice open nickel, wide open nickel to kick off the pick 6 today with that nice carryover, almost 7,500. Let's take a look here at the 5th race to kick off the late pick 5. Nice carryover today in our late pick 5 with that low, industry low, 12% takeout. carryover, a little over 3,300. Keith, you have a ticket. Let's take a look.
A little late pick 5 ticket for us, $48. And once again, we're talking about the pick 6. Jump in. I mean, we're seeing it. Even with these shorter fields, there's not a single. There's not a legit single on there. That's why, yesterday, it was dead after the 7th race?
After the 7th
race. Okay, you've got to come in on the pick 6 and the pick 5. The pick 5 today, $48, a little bit more than normal. But I think value is here. It's ripe for the taking. Getting it started in the 5th race, we're going to go with the 1 and the 11. You get 2 for 1 with that Matt's entry. And the 11, Karma, going to be a short price. Race 6, the 2, the 3 to 8. Stan, if you can add Vim, I would add Vim maybe on that ticket. He's fast. He might even be a little bit quicker than Spirit Grabber. Got off bad last time. And this horse jumps up out of nowhere and runs big races. In the 7th race, we're going to use the 7 and the 9. I'd like to go a little bit deeper, maybe add the 2 top prospect. Zen's Land, I think, is a stayer. Man of Wiregrass could be the speed threat for Scott Lake. 8th race, the 1 and the 4. Don't really know how good Alexandra Rossi is. I know Sine Wave is pretty good, though, for Ben Perkins. We've got a stat on him later. Wrapping it up in the 9th, the 2, the 6, the 8, and the 12. Another wide-open affair, $48 ticket.
All right, I like your ticket there. A couple similar picks. I don't have the 4 Alexander Rossi on my ticket there in race 8. That's
right.
a nice feature of the day, a nice 3 other than allowance race. We'll talk about that race, and yeah, you make a good point about Vim in race 6. But let's take a look here.
Okay.
At the 5th race, maiden claiming 40,000, filly mares 3 and up, going a flat mile on the main track to kick off this late pick 5. And I go with the 11 on the outside, Karma here for trainer Ron Moquette. Beaten favor last out against maiden 25, but a decent effort that day. Good second going a mile. Second the time before going a mile against maiden 40. Catches a small field here. Russell, I think, will have the benefit of breaking from the outside. He'll have a nice stalking trip, trouble-free, and in the clear on the outside. So I'll go with the 11, Karma, on top here in the 5th.
Yeah, just not a lot of speed in this race. Maybe Goodnight Moon, a horse that I know that you use, could go out and set the early pace. Karma just was hampered, was climbing a little bit early, it looked like, and got behind Get Up, She's Gone, a Tom Reynolds Trombetta runner that combined for the upset in that race. Failed it at 20 cents to the dollar. Man, it's tough. Like I say, the shorter field, maybe they, the 11 or the 1A, I think, just kind of outstumble the rest in here. Karma trying to get it done, going to be a short price. But I like the 1A. Sunny Sonata is going to be my top selection for Michael Matz. Matz and Prado teamed up yesterday with Victory Rally. That horse is really a different horse right now with the Lasix. I think she's going to kind of go right through her conditions. But Sunny Sonata gets a little extra ground. Not a bad try. First off of a lengthy layoff behind Sarah Stretcher. Hot Frisia came back to run a 45 next out. I think this horse needs to be urged into the race to stay within contention by the head of the stretch, and then I think can maybe outfinish Karma. 1A or the 11. The 7, another chance. 0 for 32, but the one thing about another chance, she has run races at Laurel that are good enough to beat these, no doubt.
Yep, I almost put the 7 on my pick 6 ticket, but she likes to pick up checks, just doesn't like to win. I think both parts of the Matt's entry are dangerous here. The 1A, Sunny Sonata, probably the better part of the entry. You're getting Jevion Toledo on the 1A, Sunny Sonata. On the plain one, Valiant Reason, make the rider Edgar Prado aboard for Michael Matson. Valiant Reason's best 2 races were going long. Maybe the 7 furlong race last out just too short on a good track. Gets back to a fast track today going long. You get the crafty veteran Edgar Prado aboard. So I think both parts of the entry must use here in the 5th. I throw the 2 Goodnight Moon into the mix here for a good trainer, Lizzie Merriman, up there at Fair Hill. So well-bred 3-year-old daughter of Malibu Moon. She ran decent last out on the turf, breaking from the 1 hole. Maybe that woke her up a little bit. Maybe she might try to go to the front early on here with Kevin Gomez stretching out on the main track for the first time today.
Yeah, it would be interesting what Prado does with Valiant Reason. Showed the speed last time against the bias and faded. But, is that her job today? Go out, kind of set the pace, and give a target for Sunny Sonata. Yeah.
All right, so nice maiden 40 there for Filly Mares, going a mile to kick off the late pick 5. Let's take a look here at the 6th race. This is a nice 7,500 starter allowance for 3 and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. This race kicks off the late pick 4. We have a video spotlight of the 4-year-old Sky Chaparral's in good form right now, very good form right now for the connections. Elvis Trujillo will ride today. Here's Sky Chaparral's race early November.
And you see it just kind of bumped and squeezed back at the break. We'll check it one more time. highlighted there, and just kind of hampered, maybe gave up a length or two when you really kind of think about it. And that could have been maybe not quite all the difference. I don't know if Sky Chaparral was going to go ahead and beat Clubman that day. But Sky Chaparral, you've talked about it. He's in great form. He settles off the pace and it swings wide for home. Thanks, guys. Top of the stretch, highlighted there, number 5, and really levels off nicely on his correct lead, straight as a string. Clubman was coming out of the Maryland Million Classic and been running against a little bit better. But Sky Chaparral, he's got those back numbers, and he's kind of hedging back towards that top form here for Corrales. A nice run after that early trouble.
Oh, yeah, I like him today. I use him in the exacta. He's a closing sprinter, 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. I don't think there's too much speed here in the race. The 3, Sky Chaparral, is a closer. The 6, Risky Guy, a closer. The 8, Fortuitous Path, a closer. Maybe the 5, Spirit Grabber, goes out to the front and tries to steal it here with Fergal Lynch aboard for trainer Tony Ferrier. A sharp wire-to-wire win 2 starts ago, going 7 furlongs against Open 7500 at Keeneland. The first race off the claim, last out against First Level Allowance Company. Tough field, won by Lewis Field that day. Spirit Grabber didn't get to the front that day. It didn't break that well. Was wide. Maybe goes right to the front today with Fergal Lynch aboard.
Yeah, he could, but he's going to have company to his inside. Vim is awfully quick, and he was hampered last time out. A little break in the air, was sent up and kind of dueled inside. Now, that opening quarter wasn't terrible. I don't like the way he kind of gave up after that. But the promising thing, this horse is going to run 3 races in a row without a break for the first time in a while. And Vim will jump up and run a big one for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
maybe today is the day. Spirit Grabber, if he goes with Vim, that could be to his detriment. Maybe he wants to sit just off of him.
Yeah, Vim has run some big races.
Look at that, 86, 3 back. Yeah,
at Timonium. Yeah, so well, Vim, he'll be a decent price maybe here for this 7-year-old who's a 4-time winner at Laurel Park. I don't use the 2 Vim, but let's take a look at the rest of the field here. The 6, Risky Guy, 5-time winner here at Laurel Park. Good third last out at this level for the Red Hot Jonathan Maldonado. You get 5 pounds off with the Bug Boy Carlos Carrasco, who won on this horse the last time he won, which was against this same kind of starter allowance field back in October.
He's just a trier. Risky Guy. Risky Guy just tries and tries. I remember that race back in February against 2 other than company. I didn't give him any shot. He ran third and came back, and we missed him up at Penn when he got the job done. But Risky Guy could fall in the right kind of trip today with these speed types, with the 2 and the 5 in here. Fortuitous Pass, what do you do, Stan?
Going to get a nice trip. If there's a lot of speed up front early on, the 8's going to be sitting with a nice stalking trip, sitting mid-pack or something. Nice win coming off the pace last out up there at the Big A.
Yeah, a horse that looks like, it'd run even faster than Sky Chaparral in New York. The blinkers came off a few races back, a steady improvement. Now, he did ride the wave of the racetrack on the 3rd of November. 4 wide, 6 wide went back. A lot of those winners and the horses that hit the board that day were high and wide at Aqueduct. So take that into consideration. But certainly, he's another one. Look at the back class and the back number is going to be a danger.
All right, so I'm 4 deep here on my pick 6. Take it using a 3, 5, 6, 8. I might have to throw the 2 Vim in there if I can play a bigger ticket. Let's take a look here at the 7th race to kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going 1 mile and 1/8 here. 9 furlongs on the main track, claiming 7,500, 3 and up, and I end up on the 7 here. Zen's Land for trainer Jamie Ness. Leading rider Jevion Toledo rides the 7 Zen's Land. Just you're trying to look for some off-the-turf form. This horse, a nice win in the slop last year here at Laurel Park, going 1 mile. You get Toledo aboard for Jamie Ness, who's starting to pick up here a little bit. Use the 7 Zen's Land on top here in the 7th.
Yeah, I think they claim this horse trying to get that Maryland Million turf starter. Didn't quite do it. Ran into Willie DeRocket, who ran off the screen that day. Really kind of opened up through the knockout punch ahead of the stretch. But Zen's Land, his only race on a fast dirt track, isn't awful. 58 Buyer when you kind of compare it to the rest of the field. And he looks like at 1 mile and 1/8. This race stays on at 1 mile and 1/8. That wants this distance. Man of Wiregrass is going to be my top selection. I like his dirt tries on a fast track. You see that 5 tries, 2 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. Looks like the legitimate speed of the speed. Chiappe for Lake the other day, we caught that winner. Really dictated a nice rating job on the front end. I'm looking for a duplicate effort from Chiappe today.
Yeah, Man of Wiregrass, a nice win on the main track, 7 furlongs at Belmont last year, so he has some back form on the main track. The 2 top prospects been hanging around at this level. He's been running in these races coming off the turf, so Mary Epler must have some faith in this horse on the main track. A good third last out in the slop. Caramano should get a nice ground-saving trip from the inside here with the 2.
Yeah, kind of been against the grain the last 2 starts, but he'll hang around. He'll be forward in this field. I mean, there's not a ton of speed. Wouldn't surprise. He could maybe pop to the front if they really wanted to, but I think they'll take up a stalking position and try to wear down the 9.
All right, I'm only 2 deep here in race 7, trying to squeak through that race. Let's take a look here. Race 8, a nice upper-level allowance feature of the day. It's a 3 other than allowance for filly and mares. Optional claiming 32,000, going 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's take a look here. Video spotlight of the 1 Sin Wave. Here's her debut performance back in last December of 2016. A good-looking debut win against Maiden Special Weight Company.
Almost a year ago, and you see her picking up Trevor this day. Just rode the hair off a Sine Wave every step of the way. Out there about 4 and 5 wide. Drifting a little bit, kind of keeps her straight. Not cornering the greatest, but keeps her straight here with the right-handed stick. And up to the outside, this is a Dickinson runner, if I'm not mistaken, right? Lift up that shifts out even up out to the 6th path and looks like the winner. She's really kind of leveling off nicely past the 8th pole. I'm So Money kind of drifted down towards the inside, but Sine Wave not going to give up at all. Actually gets past a little bit by lift up. Determined, a lot of grit in between horses, like to sustain, came back to win next time out by open margins. She's been stakes placed in twice in grade 3 stakes. Here's a stat, though, for Ben Perkins. Over the last 2 years, he's 9 for 35, 26% and 16 for 35 in the money with his dirt sprinters with an ROI of 273. A little freshening off of that grade 1 effort. It didn't really kind of get in there at all at 75 to 1 at Parks. Has rebounded nicely. Looks like some good forward works moving into this. I think the 7 furlongs is a good fit for Sine Wave.
Yeah, I think she just didn't like the track up there at Park. She's better than that, even against Grade 1 Company. She finished a very good second against Grade 3 Company at Monmouth back in August. So she has the back class. We know she likes it here at Laurel Park. Forest Boys just have to overcome breaking from that 1 hole going 7 furlongs. That never helps, but I go with the 1 Sine Wave on top here. The 6 I used in the exacta, Miss Cobblestone, looks like a nice claim for trainer Tony Ferrier. They got her for $25,000 down there at Churchill. She won that day. She won first off the claim here at Laurel, going 7 furlongs against 2 other than Allowance Company. Good second last out, going 6 furlongs, coming from off the pace there behind Renaissance Rosie. So Miss Cobblestone, she loves this distance. A 3-time winner and 5 for 7 overall, going 7 furlongs. So you get the leading rider, Jevion Toledo, aboard.
Yeah, she's run 2 big races. I did not think she was going to get up on October the 8th, but she did. She was able to kind of roll on by. A little bit of a bad actor last time out, but still sustained behind Renaissance Rosie. I think went out to Mahoning Valley and might have hit the board in a stakes. Miss Cobblestone really relishes the 7 furlong distance. But with Sine Wave with the rail, the speed, she has speed directly to her outside, and even 2 more down, Alexandra Rossi is the speed. So I think those 2, if they break cleanly, we'll go ahead and give her a clean enough path to kind of get position. But Alexandra Rossi, have they hit bottom with this 3-year-old filly by noon mark? I don't know. Last time out, she had something in reserve, popped to the front, really dictated through pretty good internal fractions that night at Penn National. I think she gets the benefit, though, today. She gets to sit outside of Giddy Up. 7 furlongs is just the question for her, though. I think she's going to survive a long way, though.
And she gets a big test here against these filly and mares. I like her. The 4, I use her in the mix in my top 3. The 3, Moon Virginia. This is her home track. This 4-year-old daughter, Jumpstart, 2-time winner here at Laurel for trainer Hammy Smith. Sheldon Russell will ride. Very good second, going a mile last out in the Geisha for Maryland Breds.
Yeah, she stayed around, really kind of grounded out, and got up for the place over Lucky and Malibu. I like her maybe at a mile a little bit better than 7. That's my whole key with her, though. She hasn't really shown that big middle move that I like in the 7 furlong races, but hey, maybe today will be the day.
All right, nice 3 other than feature of the day in race 8 to kick off the late daily double. Let's take a look here at the 9th race, going 7 furlongs, main track, claiming 5,000, never won 2 lifetime. I go with the 6, Break the Mold here for trainer Joe Murphy. 3-year-old Gelding gets Elvis Trujillo today. This horse had a nice win going 7 furlongs to break the maiden against Maiden 10 2 starts ago. Got a nice, respectable 63 buyer in that race. And then the 10,000 2 life, just too tough last out. Gets an easier spot today. Back going 7 furlongs with Elvis aboard. I'll go with the 6, Break the Mold on top here.
Yeah, the horse runs back to the maiden try. I thought this horse would repeat next time out. And just was down inside and never really kind of got it going. King of the Jungle will be the top selection here for Mary Epler. I think this horse faced better last time out. Was down inside under rating hold, but up into a quicker pace. You see the internals 23, 47, and 1, 12 flat. It's just a fade through the final, basically quarter of a mile. I think this horse is going to be okay coming back. I think this horse will improve on the drop. Mary Epler, little stat for her: 7 for 33 in dirt sprints for 5,000. For the $5,000 tag in Maryland the last 2 years with an ROI of $2.55, 19 for 33 in the money. I guess the real head scratcher here again, Rudy Rod with the 8. ZJ wins. What do you do, Stan?
We
you didn't use this horse at all, right?
Yeah, we both go against the horse. A nice win on cheap. That was cheap. Maiden 16, sprinting on the turf at Delaware. That's a cheap race. A nice win there. And then kind of spit the bit, was exposed. 7,500 to life at Meadowlands on the turf. That's the bottom of the bottom up there. Now gets to the main track here. I toss all together.
This is interesting. I looked. The mare, Sweet Lorena, 8 for 21 sprinting on the dirt. Lemon Drop Kids is a stallion. They can run on anything. Rudy Rod, here's a little stat for him with these bottom-level races. 9 for 35 dirt sprints in Maryland with runners running for 10,000 or less. That's 26%. Negative ROI, didn't quite get it up to $2, but Rudy Rod here on the jam job out of a mare, who did her best running. It looks like sprinting on the dirt.
Yeah, well, good info there.
Yeah.
This Colts by Lemon Drop Kid. Be interesting to see if any claim slips in there on the 8. ZJ wins. I go against them there in the 9th race. That's it. We're out of time here. Nice carryover today in that Rainbow Pick 6. Don't sleep on that. Starts in race 4. Carryover a little shy of 7,500, so that'll be well over 10,000 if you can be the only ticket to take down a nice signer today. 77, there it is, $7,437. I have a ticket. Get your tickets ready now. Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 4 today. Nice carryover as well in the late Pick 5, a little over 3,300. All right, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we commented about it early in the show. I mean, for the smaller guys, like us, these are the days where if you're gonna get a chance to really take down this Pick 6 pool, put a little bit more into it. I think maybe hedge away from some of your other bets. Look into this wager today because we saw through yesterday's card and today's card. There's not really a single. You might have to go 2-3 deep, but it certainly may pay some big dividends for you.
All right, best of luck. Dave Robin, he's coming up next. All of today's scratches and changes. Have a great Sunday.
Good luck.